Hello, everyone, and welcome once again. I'm back again. Week 8, fantasy football. I am JT, a.k.a. the Master, and this is For No Reason Fantasy Football. Got a great show in store for you today. I got some great picks. I do believe I got some great picks. And a sleeper, at least one sleeper. Could be more, but at least one sleeper that's going to surprise some people, okay? And he's going to get progressively better with Jameis Winston, okay? I'll just give you that's a little hint. All right, people, and you should go get him because I liked him last year. I talked about him last year, and I'll bring him up this year. All right, we got a great show in store for you today. Just like I said, we're not going to go through the Thursday games. They're already done, past, and no need to even talk about it. We got 1 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games, 8 o'clock game, and Monday night games we're going to go through. Let's start it off with my Cleveland Browns, okay? My Cleveland Browns hosting their division rival, the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? I don't in this show, you should know by now. I don't get into who's going to win, who's going to lose. This is strictly fantasy football and the type of points that each player that I name is possibly going to either meet or exceed. All right. Let's talk about the visiting team. Like I always do, I talk about the visiting team and then we go to the home team. We're talking about the Baltimore Ravens, a MVP candidate in Lamar Jackson. And I got to say this. He's balling out. But this is the regular season, people. He's balling out. Got to admit he's balling out. All right. Division games are always different. You can throw out records. Cleveland Browns are 1-5, or 1-6, or whatever they are. Doesn't make a difference. The Baltimore Ravens are on a roll, and they've been racking up points and knocking down opponents week by week since their rocky start, I should say. So what I'm going to do is Lamar Jackson is a no-brainer, okay? He's a must start. Derrick Henry is a must start. But there may be a new player a new character on the scene that maybe finally going to live up to his draft hype, okay? And that's Rashad Bateman. Play Rashad Bateman in this. And you know what? Welcome to the NFL and fantasy football, Mark Andrews. Last 2 weeks, I think he scored a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. And Lamar Jackson has rediscovered Mark Andrews and kind of push Isaiah Likely to the side. I mean, both of those guys are going to be involved, but Lamar is not going to forget his BFF, which is Mark Andrews. Okay? And you can also play the Justin Tucker. Okay? He's definitely going to – the team is definitely going to get in scoring range. And if you're going to get in scoring range, that means either an extra point or a field goal. And it doesn't take much to get in scoring range for Justin Tucker, okay? On the other side of the ball, I like Jameis Winston, but not against the Baltimore Ravens, okay? Not against the Baltimore Ravens. And not even Nick Chubb. I have right around the corner from my office is a picture of the framed jersey signed by Nick Chubb. And because I like Nick Chubb a lot, okay? I don't have to be a Cleveland Browns fan, but Nick Chubb is I know people, if you know me, I love running backs, and Nick Chubb is one of the best ones at the present time. Maybe not now. I can't recommend him playing him. Not against this Baltimore defense. I can't. And coming back a second game from a devastating knee injury. Come on, that's not happening. Not happening. I can't. I mean, a lot of people grab Nick Chubb. I guess that they're going to grab him and put him in his lineup. Okay. I wouldn't have, because I didn't think first game back from all that he went through to get back to playing shape. There's no way that he was going to uh, really produce like Nick Chubb. Okay, but and this is the second week against the Baltimore defense, run defense. No, no way. Baltimore's defense is their weakness is in the passing game, and I'm going to give you beside David Njoku, which they're one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in defending the tight end position. I'm talking about the Baltimore Ravens defense. And you play David Njoku. You got David Njoku, you damn sure play him. But I'm going to give you a sleeper most people don't know about. Cedric Tillman. Jameis likes to push the ball down the field. This guy is 6 foot plus, and is very good in 50-50 balls and has adequate speed. I'm not saying he's a burner. He has adequate speed to catch passes down the field from Jameis. Cedric Tillman. Remember that. If you're scrambling for a wide receiver because Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or whoever, or the 49ers wide receivers are not available. I think Debo's supposed to be playing. Grab Chris Tillman. Put him in your flex. Okay? What do you got to lose? He's probably going to be 1A or 1 in the lineup of the Cleveland Browns in getting the football. I think he had 8 to 10 targets, 12 targets last week. So you think Jameis wasn't in there the whole time, but you think Jameis is not going to try to get him the ball? Big, tall wide receiver? Come on, people. I'm trying to give you some help here. Okay? Grab him. I grabbed him in one league. I'm definitely going to try to grab him in another league. I should have grabbed him already, but I'm trying to manipulate some players. All right, let's move on to the Tennessee Titans at the Detroit Lions. The only one I can tell you to play, and it's a tough, and I can't stress it enough, a tough play. A really tough play. It's Tony Pollard. Detroit's strength is defending the run. Okay. And speaking of the run, as you can see, people, and I've said this from day one since I've been on the air, since I've been talking about fantasy football. The strength of any football team, fantasy or otherwise, is the running back. That's why I specialize in trying to get quality running backs to you. So what I'm saying is this. The running back position has become full circle. Let me put it that way. I think the teams in the NFL who hurried up and the free agent market hurry up and signed running backs realize that the quarterbacks that they have to use play action. They have to have an effective running game in order to have a good passing game. Okay? Play action, moving guys around. That is what is most effective, and that's why you see a lot of good running backs out there right now, showing up and showing out. Okay? The only viable, in my opinion, because you got Mason Rudolph as a quarterback against the Detroit Lions. In Detroit, Mason Rudolph. Come on, man. And there's no DeAndre Hopkins. Gone. He's with the Chiefs. Gone. You got Calvin Ridley. Really? Come on. Really? The only one I can tell you to play is Tony Pollard because they're going to try to run the football. Because they have Mason Rudolph as the quarterback. So essentially, they don't have a quarterback because Will Levis is hurt. Come on. Really? That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's move on to the Detroit Lions. Where do I start and where do I finish? Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amar St. Brown. And let me just tell you this. I'm going to give another one. Another one. Because Jameson Williams is suspended for 2 games. Okay? Jameson is suspended for 2 games. If you need another flex, and those other wide receivers that I talked about from either the Buccaneers or the 49ers are unavailable, Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick. You're going to say who? Came from Denver. Big, tall wide receiver, Tim Patrick. Come on, people. Stay with me here. I'm trying to give you some quality fantasy info here. Tim Patrick. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into the end zone. Okay, he's going to take the place of Jameson Williams for sure. This game and week 9. Okay. And now you're going to say play Amar St. Brown. Okay. Sam Laporta. Okay. But don't forget about Tim Patrick. He takes the place, I say again, of Jameson Williams. Big, tall wide receiver, just like Jameson Williams. Plug and play. Plug and play. Okay? All right, let's move on. Let's move on to another team, another matchup in the list of games. I'm sorry, list of games that are taking place. Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. Another division rival. All right. In the AFC South, Houston Texans have always had trouble with the Indianapolis Colts, but I don't think it's going to happen this week. Jonathan Taylor is supposed to be coming back. Anthony Richardson, don't play him. I'm not an Anthony Richardson fan. He's not an accurate quarterback. Michael Pittman is any pass catcher is suffered because of Anthony Richardson. He's only counts because he's a great runner. Passer up the football. He needs to go to Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts school of quarterback. Whoever they were schooled in quarterback position. Because when they came back, when they had issues with being accurate with the football, the following year was an awakening for both of them. This is what needs for Anthony Richardson. Hopefully, he seeks out a quarterback guru that can work with him off season. Too late for this season. Work with him off season to improve his passing game. Once he improves that, you see what took place with Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Okay? They became fantasy viable. Anthony Richardson can do that too. But you got to put in the work. No put in the work. He's going to be just what he is right now. Don't play Anthony Richardson. They're going to want to run the football because of the weakness of the quarterback throwing the football. You can play Michael Pittman. He may get double digits, but he's going to work for it, really work for it. On the other side of the ball, you got to play C.J. Stroud. This is not a very good defense. I'm talking about the Colts. Pass defense. And the Texans are playing at home. Big advantage playing at home. I would play C.J. Stroud. Quite naturally, Joe Mixon is a no-brainer. And we don't know how Stephon Diggs. You got to play Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell, where are you? Where are you? Is this a Tank Dell day? Tank Dell day? We don't know. Don't know. And over the last few weeks, I wouldn't because of what we've seen. I wouldn't count on Stephon Diggs. I was completely wrong. I won't say completely wrong, but I was wrong. But it may change when Nico Collins finally comes back. Because Nico Collins was the number one. Now Stephon Diggs, not Tank Dell, is the number one. Okay. Can't tell you to play any other player on here. 3 players. CJ Stroud, the running back Joe Mixon, wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Sorry about that. Those are the plays that I'm suggesting you play. Suggesting you play. All right. We may not go to full hour, but I'm going to go through this and give you all the information I can possibly give you. Okay. Green Bay Packers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Green Bay is visiting Jacksonville. Jacksonville usually plays better at home. But Green Bay, this is how I break it down. Quarterback, Jordan Love. Running back, Josh Jacobs. Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, and Tucker Kraft. Is that enough for you? This Jaguars defense, I said they usually play better at home, but they don't have the pieces to play that much better at home to stifle this Green Bay offense. I like Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, especially Jaden Reed and Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love. Some people didn't like Jordan Love over last year. I said Jordan Love is going to ball out this year. So far. Now, the season is only halfway over. So far, he's been balling out. He's been everything I expected and then some. Okay? For those who grabbed Jordan Love early and saw the handwriting on the wall about Jordan Love, you did a good thing. You're getting rewarded each and every week. For those who haven't, you missed out. You missed out. Let me put it that way. This is one of the most consistent fantasy quarterbacks this year, giving you quality fantasy points. Week in and week out, regardless of the defense, regardless of the matchup. Because besides when he came back from his knee injury, besides throwing the football, which he's very good passer of the football. He can move. He can run. So he's a dual threat quarterback. Okay? With a very good offensive mind. And the head coach / offensive coordinator. And players around him that make plays. All right, let's move on to Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence, come on, man. Not against this defense. Let me put it this way. This is not an all-world defense, but they're decent. They're decent. And because this team is so flaky. Trevor Lawrence, you never know what you're going to get with Trevor Lawrence. He could be all-world. In one quarter, in the next quarter, he could be the worst quarterback in the league. Throwing picks, fumbling the football. That's just Trevor Lawrence. Do you play Tank Bigsby or do you play Travis Etienne? Good luck with that. They look like Tank Bigsby is the number one running back in this offense, but Doug Peterson plays games with the running backs. I can't say with all sincerity play either one of these guys. In the passing game, I think they like their rookie and their tight end. And Brian Thomas Jr. and Evan Ingram. Okay? And that's basically the only guys I can tell you to play. The other ones are just going to get in the fill-in. Like fill-in to get in. Or whatever. They're just going to fill in. Nothing consistent. Let me put it that way. Let's move on to another game. Very interesting game. That is. In the Arizona Cardinals against the Miami Dolphins. And this is going to be an interesting game. Kyler Murray has been a disappointment to me. A big disappointment. I thought he'd be playing better than he has. I don't know if he's reverting back to the old Kyler or not. All right. You know, the old Kyler used to throw consistently to the wide receivers when he had DeAndre Hopkins or whoever. Now this Kyler seems to like the tight end more than he likes his newfound toy, Marvin Harrison Jr. So, you know what? They got to run the football. Miami can't be run on. James Conner has been healthy and consistent for the most part. You play James Conner. Absolutely. But if you have a spot on your roster, I would recommend you grabbing Trey Benson and sit him there and just wait. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but history tells us that James Conner over the course of the season does get hurt and misses at least one or two games. Okay? I'm just saying. Not that I'm saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying. Be on the safe side. If you're a James Conner lover and a running back, I would hedge my bet with Trey Benson. You play Trey McBride, James Conner, Marvin Harrison. You don't know what you're going to get. I hate to say it. That's because of the quarterback. He's not a consistent thrower to Marvin Harrison Jr. It may not happen for him this year. I'm talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. It may happen next year. That's just, when a highly touted wide receiver, for the most part, doesn't show up and show out in the first year, let's look to the second year when maybe the quarterback and the wide receiver can get on the same page. That's all I can tell you. In keeper leagues, I would keep Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay. I would keep him. Dynasty leagues, definitely. Keep him. And then I say, welcome back to Tua Tagovailoa. He's a hell of a person. I don't know if I would come back after I've gone through what I've gone through, what Tua's going through. Multiple concussions. And he was gone for what, 2-3 weeks? And suffered. People who had Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle suffered because of Tua Tagovailoa. Replacements were not able to consistently get them the football. And they were Jags. They were just another guy. Talking about Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I think they're relevant now. I think this is going to be, especially against the Arizona defense, and they're playing Miami playing at home. Come on, man. I got to believe Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to eat and eat often. So you play Devon Achane. Raheem Mostert got a supporting role in the running game. And guess what, people? Guess what? There has been, I like this guy when he's with the Minnesota Vikings. He seemed like he couldn't keep healthy. And he's healthy now. And he's been consistent over the last couple weeks with the replacement quarterbacks. Hopefully Tua recognizes Jonnu Smith. And there's another tight end that you can plug into your lineup if you're searching for a tight end. You're desperate for a tight end position in Jonnu Smith. Okay? And quite naturally, playing at home, this offense is going to be revitalized They're going to get in scoring position, whether it's a field goal or kicking extra points. You play Jason Sanders, the kicker. Yeah, I'm trying to put kickers in here too for those who have leagues that have kickers. I'm trying to do that for you too. All points count, people. All points count from every direction you can possibly look for. Okay? All right, let's move on to another game, another 1 o'clock game. The Jets and the New England Patriots, another division rival. Aaron Rodgers dealing with a hamstring, a lower leg injury. He's supposedly going to play. Questionable, but supposedly going to play. If he plays, people, you got to play Aaron Rodgers. Against New England, New England got a halfway decent defense, but this is a wily veteran that has seen it all, okay, and got weapons to throw to. Breece Hall, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and yes, even Tyler Conklin. For as long as I can remember, Aaron Rodgers likes when he has to, when he's available, to throw it to the tight end. Doesn't leave him out of the offense. Unlike Tyler Conklin in this. Okay? I'm trying to give you every aspect of this. Okay? On New England's part, Drake May has been playing well. I don't know how well he's going to play at home against this defense. But let me put it this way. I don't think you should play Drake May in this game because I think the Jets defense is going to stifle him a little bit. But two players for the New England Patriots, and I'm not a big guy of the New England Patriots, but this is a good possibility. If you heard me talk about fantasy football, and you always heard me talk that the best friend of a young quarterback is a tight end position, and Hunter Henry has been that. Drake May took over 2 games ago, and loves Hunter Henry. Quick throw over the middle, can get rid of the football and move and help move the chains. You play Hunter Henry. You play Hunter Henry. All right. Demario Douglas, for the most part, is the go-to target of Drake May. I'm not a big fan. I don't think he's going to really do a lot in this game with the cornerbacks that they have. I don't think in the Jet defense that these cornerbacks are going to let the wide receivers do much. But I do like the Hunter Henry in this. Okay. All right, let's move on to another division rival. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting. Okay. Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You play Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts. You have any part of this Atlanta Falcons offense, you put whoever it is into your lineup. Into your lineup. No doubt. And you can even put Young Ho Koo. Now, I would really, really, really love Koo if he was home, but he's on the road outside in the elements. But if you're looking for a kicker, for whatever reason, you're desperate for a kicker, for whatever reason, Koo will not be a bad option. He may not even be on a wire. I mean, he may not be on available. But if he is, you can grab him because this team is going to get in scoring position. Maybe not scoring a lot of touchdowns, but they're going to be able to have field goal opportunities. Okay? Let's move on to Baker Mayfield has been red hot. Red hot. But how red hot can he be without his two main wide receivers? Unbelievable. Mike Evans is gone for a severe hamstring injury for several weeks. Chris Godwin is gone. He's gone. Not coming back this season. Gone. Who's he going to go to? Rashad White. Sterling Shepard. Who? Sterling Shepard. Cade Otton. You're looking for another tight end, people. Cade Otton. Baker Mayfield is one of Baker Mayfield's friends now to get the ball out of his hands. Cade Otton. I love Cade Otton this week. All right. All right, let's move on to another game. And this is the first 4 o'clock game. Number 1 against number 2. Possible. Okay. You got to look to see if Jaden Daniels is going to play. Don't think so. He's still dealing with rib injury. And I don't think they want to chance it, meaning the Washington Commanders, chance it in damaging their outstanding rookie quarterback any further than he is. They want to make sure he's right when he comes back. So I think Marcus Mariota is going to be in there. But we'll talk about that when we get to the home team. Caleb Williams, I can't recommend playing Caleb Williams. I really can't. Okay? I'm not a big fan of Caleb Williams. He's going to have to prove it to me. Okay? I know this Washington Commanders team is not end all to be all. But it's a step up from what he played last week. I mean, Washington Commanders defense. You play Gervonta Swift. They want to run the football. They want to run the football. The most important person other than DeAndre Swift on this football team to throw to is DJ Moore. Okay, he was last year with Justin Fields. He is this year with Caleb Williams. Okay. I can't trust Keenan Allen or Rome Odunze or Kyle Kmet. Kyle Kmet started off hot, but has cooled off, and I can't recommend it as a tight end. DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Caleb Williams. Okay? And don't forget about Roschon Johnson. I still hold out hope for Roschon Johnson to be a key player in this offense. Okay? Let's move over to the Washington Commanders. You know what? Well, this is a decent defense in Chicago. This may be the only time I tell you to play Marcus Mariota in a 2-quarterback league. I think I would play him. The way Cliff Kingsbury calls this offense, I think it would benefit, just like Jaden Daniels, it would benefit Marcus Mariota. And I think they're catering to the strengths of Marcus Mariota with the play call Cliff Kingsbury has. Play Brian Robinson Jr. They want to run the football. And this is a guy that's going to want to run the football. Okay? Now, Cleveland. Chicago's pass defense is not that bad. But you got to play the 2 pass catchers that are relevant in the Washington Commanders. And that's Terry McLaurin. I like Terry McLaurin a lot. But I don't think he's going to do a lot. And Zach Ertz, the old man in the tight end position, best friend of a quarterback, especially of a quarterback that's not accurate, not a deep, accurate, an accurate deep passer, is tight end position. Zach Ertz knows how to play that position and get open for his quarterback. All right? Let's move on to the New Orleans Saints at the LA Chargers. And Spencer Rattler as the quarterback. Lord help us. Lord help us. Derek Carr is out another week. I know these pass catchers cannot wait for Derek Carr to show back up again to be relevant. The only guy I can tell you to play, and the LA Chargers know this, and the LA Chargers are a very good defense, is Alvin Kamara. Short throws out of the backfield, short throws in the middle of the field, running the football. The end all to be all is Alvin Kamara. Spencer Rattler is not the most effective quarterback to get the ball consistently to his wide receivers or tight end. LA is a very good defense. In this situation, LA playing at home, New Orleans Saints visiting, play the LA Chargers defense. I love him in this situation. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game in relationship to New Orleans Saints. Play the LA Chargers. On the other side of the ball, they're going to want to run the football and run the football and run the football. What's that telling you? That's telling you that they probably won't have a need to pass that much because the fact that J.K. Dobbins is going to dominate the touches. And if they run up the score enough, Kamani Vidal may get in there and do a little damage. Who? That's the backup. No Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is on IR. It's J.K. Dobbins, and the backup is Kamani Vidal. Okay? He's a very good pass catcher, and is used a lot in that vein. So I would say play Kamani Vidal too in the flex. You got more than one flex. You are desperate for a flex position. Hey, you're desperate for a flex position. That's the key word, desperate. Kamani Vidal. Okay? I can't tell you to play Lab McConkey. Can't tell you to play Joshua Palmer. Can't tell you, definitely can't play Quentin Johnson. Come on, man. Will Dissly, tight end? No. This is a running team, and they pick their poison when they want to take shots down the field. Okay? So let's move on to the next game at the Buffalo. This is going to be a pretty good game. I got to believe this is going to be a pretty good game. It's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Buffalo Bills at the Seattle Seahawks. Josh Allen, no-brainer. James Cook, no-brainer. Amari Cooper, new toy. He scored a touchdown the first game out. You think they're not going to have a better rapport in this game? Come on, man. Really? You got a new revitalized Amari Cooper, who was, in my opinion, I wouldn't say going through the motions, but basically going through the motions in Cleveland because he knew it was a lost cause. I would definitely play Amari Cooper. Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, too much of a risk factor. The number one wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, and they're going to want to use him again a lot with a lot of targets, is Amari Cooper. Okay? I don't care what anybody says. Amari Cooper is the number one. His rankings has moved up dramatically since he went to the Buffalo Bills from being in the Cleveland Browns uniform. Okay? He's one of those must-starts, in my opinion. He's one of those must-starts. Regardless of the matchup, he's one of those must-starts. Okay? More to Seattle Seahawks. I love Geno Smith. I know people saying that, well, they're going up against Buffalo. Okay, they're going up against Buffalo. Buffalo can be thrown on. I love Geno Smith playing at home. They're going to run the football. This offense, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I said it in the summer. I'll say it in the beginning of the season. And up to this point, love to pass the football. The offensive coordinator loves to pass the football. You play Kenneth Walker. I know that he's a running back, but I mean, they can still have to run the football. They're not going to forget the running game. They're not going to forget the running game. And with a running back like Ken Walker, they're going to run the football. Okay? DK Metcalf ain't playing. So who? Jackson Smith, Enigma? Tyler Lockett? Hello. Noah Fant? people with a tight end that are going to say, who? Well, no fans been showing up and showing out, just not because DK Metcalf's out here. He's been doing that for the last 2 or 3 games at least. I love Noah Fant. I love this offense. This is one of these offenses I love. There's 3 offenses I love in the NFL. 3 offenses I absolutely love in the NFL. Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks. Okay? And you play Noah Fant and Jason Myers because they're playing at home. They're going to be able to move the football. They're going to get scoring opportunities, whether it's extra points or field goals. You play Jason Myers. That's what I can say. All right? Let's move on to another game. This is going to be an interesting game, people. Philadelphia Eagles at Cincinnati Bengals. Been an up and down season for both teams and quarterbacks. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles first. You play Jalen Hurts. That's a no-brainer to me. A no-brainer. Saquon Barkley, absolutely. He's the number 1 fantasy quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. You play A.J. Brown, favorite target of Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith. No, there's no Dallas Goedert. So the pass catchers that are going to be extremely relevant is A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Okay? Let's move over to the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow. You play Joe Burrow at home. I don't like any of the running backs in this game. Zach Moss or Chase Brown, who in my opinion is the better of the 2 running backs. I think this is going to be a passing game. And look for Andre Escovides to take the place of T. Higgins. I don't think T. Higgins is playing, if I'm not mistaken. If T. Higgins plays, you play T. Higgins. If T. Higgins does not play, you look for one of the rookies to take his spot. Either Jermaine Burton or Andre Escovides. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Let's go to the Carolina Panthers at the Denver Broncos. This is Bryce Young playing instead of Andy Dalton. And talking about taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back, that's what the Carolina Panthers, they're taking us 2 steps back with Bryce Young because Andy Dalton is injured. I can't tell you to play any pass catchers. Wide receivers, definitely not. Definitely not. Who is they playing? Who's going to play? Adam Thielen is not going to play. Deontay Johnson is out and maybe out the door. Xavier Leggett, another rookie, wide receiver. Bryce Young is not an accurate quarterback. Why do you think they went to Andy Dalton? They had to put Bryce Young in because they had no choice. What, Jatavian Sanders? The tight end? I can't. This quarterback is so bad. I cannot. And the Denver pass defense is very good. I cannot recommend anybody other than the running back, Chuba Hubbard. Jonathan Brooks probably won't be back for another week or 2. Can't. It won't happen. Okay? On the other side of the ball, this is one of the worst defenses. I'm talking about Carolina. And Denver is playing at home. Bo Nix, damn right. Javonte Williams, damn right. Cortland Sutton, damn right. There are no-brainers to me. Playing against the defense, these guys, halfway through the season, they basically give up. They didn't give up. They're playing like they gave it up already. All right, let's move on to another game. This is another division game in the AFC West. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Pat Mahomes. In a 2-quarterback league, you play Pat Mahomes. By itself, you don't play him. I know they have a new toy in DeAndre Hopkins, and Andy Reid said he's going to get involved, but how much of an involvement is he going to have? Okay. How much of an involvement is he going to have? I think DeAndre Hopkins helps Xavier Worthy. Okay. Instead of getting the type of coverage Xavier Worthy gets, it's going to go to DeAndre Hopkins and leave more opportunities for Patrick Mahomes to get the ball down the field to Xavier Worthy. You play Xavier Worthy in a flex. Kareem Hunt, no brainer. That's and Travis Kelce. I told you at the beginning of the season, Travis Kelce is not going to be the Travis Kelce people are expecting. And outside of the last a couple of weeks, he hasn't been. People, he has not been. And I said this before on another show. I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last year that he retires. I would not be surprised. Okay, because the handwriting to me is on the wall. Then you play Harrison Butker, one of the best kickers in the league, short and long. Excuse me. All right, let's move on to the 8:00 game, which is where are these two teams going? Where are these two teams going? Each team has different issues, but both of them have serious issues. Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Dak Prescott against the defense. Not to me. I don't think so. I know he's got a target in CeeDee Lamb, okay, but for the most part, the San Francisco 49ers are hurting on offensive weapons, not defense. You play CeeDee Lamb, of course. Play Jason Ferguson, okay. I have more faith in CeeDee Lamb than I have in Jason Ferguson. You play this outstanding kicker in Brandon Aubrey. They're probably going to get in scoring position, maybe more field goals than extra points. You're playing Brandon Aubrey, the kicker, on the other side of the ball. You're playing at home. They're limited. Supposedly, Chief Debo is going to play. Okay, he's well enough to play. Supposedly, he's going to play. You play Jordan Mason. Come on, man. You can run on the Cowboys. And let me wait a minute before I go to the 49ers. Dalvin Cook is now in the active list. Okay, grab Dalvin Cook and put him on your bench and see what you get. Okay, is he better than Zeke? Is he better than Rico? You don't know. I mean, he's an older back. He's been around the league. He was on the practice squad for the Dallas Cowboys. Now they're moving him into the active roster, and they're going to get him involved. How much of involvement they're going to get from Dalvin Cook? He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he can run the football. But how good can he run the football? Okay? I'm just saying, people. Okay? I want to put all options out there. Good or bad, all options out there. On the other side of the ball, Brock Purdy. I'm up in the air. Maybe let me put it this way: 2 quarterback leagues, you play Brock Purdy. I can go that route. They're going to run the football. That's what they do. That's what they do. I've said this a long time ago. I said it before. Why do you think that the 49ers have so many running backs that they put in the lineup when one goes down? Because they run the bull crap or run the heck out of running backs till they run them right out. They run them right down. Then they plug in another one. Then you run that one right down. Or they have a habit. The 49ers have a habit of going through multiple running backs because of injuries. So it's always good to have a backup to a 49er running back. Jordan Mason, supposedly, let me put it this way, with double Achilles tendonitis. Double, not one, double. They're saying Chris McCaffrey may make an appearance back in week 10. Okay, you got some people grabbing Chris McCaffrey. Okay, You got some people holding on Chris McCaffrey. I understand it. It's Chris McCaffrey. But double tendonitis, that means both of those tendons, the Achilles tendon, have to be right at the same time. It only takes one, but he has it double, and it only takes one to hamper a running back. Trust me. He's making progress. Okay. There's hope that he may come back in week 10. Those CMC owners, cross your fingers. You're taking a calculated risk if you grab them. And I understand that. I understand it. I have no issue with it. I wouldn't do it. Too much of a problem. He's had double tendonitis. Even if he comes back, one of those tendons is going to be weaker than the other. They're not both going to be as strong. Both of them. Okay? Double tendonitis. It's not one, it's both of them. His Achilles heel. I'm just saying. I don't know how much of Christian McCaffrey he's going to be when he comes back. He may be CMC only in name only and used in and out. Jordan Mason still, I think, is going to be a factor. I think he's still going to be a factor. Okay. Jordan Mason fans, including myself, don't be discouraged by the talk of Christian McCaffrey coming back, because even if he comes back in week 10, how effective is he going to be? You don't know. And for how long is he going to be effective? You don't know. How much use is he going to get? It's too many question marks for my taste to be able to use him as a certainty. I know guys, Christian McCaffrey back, they're going to want to run him right into the lineup and say, "Oh, here we go. We got CMC back." Okay. For how long? He's a 28-year-old running back. 28. I've told you about running backs that get up in age. The prime age for a running back is 23, 24, 25. That's it. It starts to slowly decline after the 26th year. Chris McCaffrey has been used a lot in Carolina and a lot in San Francisco. There's almost only so much tread on the tire. That's all I can say. And I'll be the first one to say if it proves me wrong, but Father Time waits for no one when it comes to running backs. I'll say that. Father Time waits for no one when it comes to running backs. You just have to wait and see. You play Deebo Samuel if he's able to play. Brandon Ayuk is out. You don't know how effective these other wide receivers, Jacob Cowing, or Ricky Pearsall, which is a highly touted name, are going. But they're going to be used. George Kittle, if he's available, he's healthy, you use George Kittle. Okay? Quite naturally. That's a no-brainer. All right, the last game on the slate is the New York Giants at the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the second game playing at home in Russell Wilson. I can't. $40 million quarterback got benched last week in Daniel Jones. I can't see playing him. Come on, man. Really? Really? Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson are only the great options for the New York Giants. And Pittsburgh has a very good pass defense and a rush. Are they going to be irrelevant? Don't know. But you got to put these guys in there. For the simple fact is, if you don't, you're going to say coulda, woulda, shoulda. You don't want to do that. You just put them in there and cross your fingers, okay? On the other side of the ball, Russell Wilson's playing home. A vet. I know the Giants have a decent defense, but I'm playing Russell Wilson. Najee Harris, absolutely. George Pickens, he loves Russell Wilson's one of the best deep ball passers in the NFL. And who excels in 50-50 balls and deep balls? George Pickens. Damn Skippy. Okay? And you play Chris Boswell against his defense, playing at home. Chris Boswell, come on, they're going to get in scoring position, whether it's field goals, and I say this again, whether field goals or scoring touchdowns. You play the kickers, Chris Boswell. All right, people. Next week I won't be here. I have a prior engagement that I promised I attend, and I will not be here for week 9. Okay, so enjoy the games for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, you win your week, and you take some of my advice, or you take it, or just listen to it. And if it pans through, you say, I should have listened. I gave you some sleepers in the wide receiver position. Gave you some sleepers in the running backs and tight end position. I don't know what to tell you. Good luck in your fantasy matchups. Have a safe week and be well. Peace.